She wakes up tired, but she tries again. Carries the weight, she won't let him in. Mirror don't show what she's fighting through. Just someone holding it all for you. Every crack begins to show, but she never lets.
So let's get back to the topic, shall we, of how we regulate ourselves in time of anxiety. So let's be honest, because even though we're in our 40s, 50s, 60s and 70s, we still get anxious, feel a bit perturbed about certain things. And, anxiety could be because of something good, but it also could be because of something not so good. But how do we manage it now that we're much older? And I think there are some ways. This isn't an infinitive list, but there is something here that we can use. If you see me looking down, it's only because I've written notes on my iPad and I want to make sure that I stay on course. Number one, I would say, is get pen, put it to paper, or use your laptop or something else. But there's something about writing things down. Even doctors say, brain surgeons say that there's something about writing things down that gets your mind in gear and allows you to think through things. It's not the same as when you are typing or when you are putting a message through. But I would say get pen to paper and use it to record how you're feeling right now. This may change depending on your mood for the day, but I would say get pen to paper and start writing about your feelings. Okay, understand what is really going on so that you can start to think of how to address it. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean there's a bad thing going on, but sometimes you need to understand, why is that person? Why do I constantly do this thing or see this behavior in myself all the time? Knowing the what and the why will lead to the how. So knowing what you're doing and why you're doing it, why they are doing it, it helps us to understand the how. Okay, so you might need to write down your findings on the notes, and don't be afraid to brain dump. That's why I say, get pen to paper, because you can brain dump anything that you're feeling or that you think, anything that comes into your mind. There's a reason why it has. So now that you know the what and the why, it's time to figure out what you can do to control the situation. And you cannot always control the situation. You can't. But there is something that you can do, okay? You can dig deep and you can have some hope. You can have some hope that, okay, I can't control it right now, but I can believe and trust that something is going to happen that is going to turn this situation around. Because without hope, we're nothing. Without hope, we are nothing. And so hope will allow us, even if you say you're going to use it to fool yourself, but the more hope you have, the more it will become a reality for you. So it won't be that you're fooling yourself. I'm pretending to be hopeful. If you're truly hopeful, you become that, or it becomes you. Okay? So it doesn't mean that the situation has changed, but it just means that your mindset has refused to give up. Number 4, draw on past experiences that have helped you to get through similar situations. I mean, come on, if you're 40, 50 and 70, you can draw on something that has happened before, similar to what is happening right now. It might not be the same thing, but it has similar instances that you can say, okay, I've been through this before. I've been through this situation before. What did I do? How did I get through it? Who helped me? What can I do differently? This is what I did. I remember I did this and it didn't work. So what can I do differently? Or what did I do that did work that I can apply to this as well? Okay, so draw on past experiences. Turn off all negative media or negative Nancy's, should I say. Okay, anything visual or audio that makes you feel worse, okay, turn it off. Turn off the sad music. Turn off the angry music. Turn off the news. There was a time that I was going through a kind of depression, and that time the Ukraine war had just started, and I was actually waking up at about 2:00 crying, watching the news and just crying for these people, praying, all the things. Got to a point I realized after many weeks, many months, should I say, a few months, I decided that I had to turn it off. And in turning that off, honestly, I felt a release. So a release from, because that was adding to my anxiety. I was already depressed. So I didn't need Ukraine and the situation that was going on there to continually drop within me. Yes, there are things that I could have done outside there. There are things that I could pray, I could give, I could do all the things, but I didn't have to be soaked in that note and in the news all day long, which I was. The sixth thing, replace the negative with the positive, okay? So as we have gates, we have the ear gate, we have the eye gate, we have the mouth gate. We need to replace the negative things, use our gates for good things. So talk to yourself, I'm a good person. I will do great things. I am calm. I am intelligent. I am lovable. All those things that you can talk to yourself rather than saying, oh, I can't do this, or I'm so stupid, or this and that. I'm so stupid, I made that mistake again. No. And then the things that you look at as well. What are you looking at? What are you watching that can give you peace, that can take away the anxiety? Are you looking at nature? Are you going out on walks to see what's around you? Or are you staring at the TV? Or are you looking at books, or looking at things that are not good for you? And what about what you're taking in through your ear? What are you listening to? What advice, what friends, the negative Nancy's that say, oh no, you'll never make it at this age, now we're past it, this and what are you listening to? Who are you listening to? So important. Another way on how to get us out of this anxiety is to feed our bodies with nutritious food. A lot of the time when we are anxious, we eat either rubbish or we don't eat at all. When you're really anxious about something, you either raid the fridge for rubbish food or the pantry for rubbish stuff, chocolate, sugar especially, which then, gives you a high and a low, and then you go back to having more and more and more, or you don't eat. And I would say, if you can, and you know that you're going through, you feel a bit of anxiety, it's just a little bit, but you feel it anyway, I would say start preparing meals. Start thinking about what you can put in the house. Start thinking about, start understanding what you might be low on, in terms of supplements. Talk to your doctor if you need to. Also, seek mutual regulation. So I've talked about things that you can do for yourself, which is self-regulation. Get into those things as well that give you joy, for example. Walking, reading a book, listening to good music, meditating, journaling. All those sort of things that you can take in a nap even, because for some people a nap is a luxury. Put it into your diary, into your calendar, into your daily diary, that you're going to have a nap if you need to. If you're that person that is so stressed and so anxious about things, maybe a 15-minute nap every day in between getting up and going to bed. Maybe that 15-minute nap is what will help you reduce your anxiety. And for someone else, maybe that 15-minute walk is something that will help you reduce your anxiety. But I was talking about mutual regulation. And mutual regulation is reaching out to friends, family, and people in community that will help you. Even therapy, bad word, which, Gen Xers don't like to hear. But therapy is a good thing. It's an outlet where we can talk about things that we're going through or have gone through and receive wisdom on coping mechanisms, on how to go forward. But talk to people who can give you that. It might be your sister, it might be your mother, it might be your husband, it might be your partner, it even might be your child. If you have a child that is old enough and you want to discuss anything with them and you feel that it's appropriate to discuss with your child might be able to give you an answer that you need. Yeah. So I would say mutual regulation is very, very important. Another thing I'd say is pray and meditate. Meditation is important. When you pray and you meditate, it helps you release the stress and take on a feeling of peace that is going to be okay. Even though the situation around you looks as if it's not, it can be. So those are things that you can draw upon when you're feeling anxious. And the funny thing is that as you might go through the situation, you might feel that, okay, I'm still going through this, but I don't need I don't need this and I don't need that because I'm putting it in. But I've just noticed that I'm doing this and I'm doing that, but I'm not feeding myself properly, or I'm feeding myself properly, but I'm not seeking counsel, wise counsel. Maybe that's something I need to add to what's going on in my life. So those are the things that I have put in, and the things that I continue to look at when I'm feeling anxious. And yes, if you feel that there are other things that we can add to this, please put them down in the comments, and let's learn from each other. In the meantime, I say it once and I'll say it again. Don't forget to rock your decade, and I'll see you on the next one.